I believe that what is being alleged and what we saw, which is incitement to insurrection, is an impeachable offense. If not, what is? It continues a pattern that the president had of trying to corrupt the election by his communication with Ukraine, by trying to corrupt the election with regards to the lie that he's been spreading over the last several months, and then, if you will, firing up a crowd and encouraging them to march on the Capitol at the time that the Congress was carrying out its constitutional responsibility to certify the election. These allegations are very serious. They haven't been defended yet by the president. He deserves a chance to have that heard. But, I think it's important for us to go through the normal justice process and for there to be resolution.
As it is with each senator, my vote is an act of conviction. We've come to different conclusions, fellow senators, but I trust we have all followed the dictates of our conscience.
I'm going to be a Senate juror, and as a result of that, I'll listen to the arguments both by the prosecution as well as by the defense. We haven't heard those yet. I'll read the briefs and I'll make a decision, and I will make a decision based upon the facts and the evidence as it's presented. The preponderance of the legal opinion is that a impeachment trial after someone has left office is constitutional. I believe that's the case. I'll, of course, hear what the lawyers have to say for each side, but I think it's pretty clear that the effort is constitutional. What they've already alleged in the article of impeachment, which cited, first of all, the president's hour-plus-long call with Secretary of State Raffensperger of Georgia trying to get him to falsify the results of the election, and then the effort to incite insurrection at the Capitol. Those items themselves are of a sufficient nature that I think the American people are outraged and have a right to be. History will provide a measure of judgment with regards to those that continue to spread the lie that the president began with, as well as the voters in our respective communities. I don't think the Senate needs to take action. After all, there were thousands upon thousands of people who continued to spread the idea that the election had been stolen. And I hope people step back and say, where was it that the president got the idea that the election was fraudulently delivered? Did his Justice Department tell him that? No. As a matter of fact, they told him just the opposite. Did the intelligence community tell him that? No. Actually, they said just the opposite. So where did he hear this idea that, for instance, 5,000 dead people in Georgia voted? Did that come from the Georgia officials? No. They said only 2 people. Upon a complete review of all the voters, only 2 people were dead that voted, and those are being investigated. So basically, he either made this up out of midair, or perhaps someone in their basement tweeted something out and he picked it up from there. But there is no evidence that he was ever able to show, and that's why 60 courts that looked at it simply laughed him out of court. And the reality is this is something that was made up, and it's had enormous damage. And those that participated in spreading that, I think, will recognize that they now have a responsibility to set the record straight and to say, in fact, we never did see hard evidence of a widespread fraud of the nature that would have reversed the election. That is something I think that's essential today.